Yo, call me a beta the way I'm leaking on your floor. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Kids. Today, and only today, we are here to talk about a pretty notable leak that happened recently with Sega, including some Sonic stuff that I want to just cover, talk about, give my thoughts on, because a lot of people have been asking me, and I thought, you know what, I'd let you in on it, let you know what's really popping out here. Of course, before we get into that, subscribe to your boy, support the content, and I'll judge us, because you can see there's been a lot of upgrades, camera-wise and life-wise and everything, so keep supporting, keep watching, yes sir. So to preface this was part of a leak that had stuff from Persona 3 remake that leaked, Jet Set radio game that leaked, and Sonic. Now we're gonna be focusing on the Sonic stuff here, so let's go ahead and watch this footage first that's going on over here, right? So we got right here Sonic running through, right, hitting this enemy out here. There's a bit of an audio desync. I think that's the video itself. Fighting, the Caterpillar, going supersonic, a lot going on here, right? Now on first glance you're kind of like, oh, this is Sonic Frontiers. Well, this started a debate conversation going on online about how this version of the game looked better. So first of all, right, we can see right here Kronos Island, much more expanded. There's a whole spot here that wasn't in the base game. Obviously this was originally when Kronos was going to be one big island, but ended up being separated into parts, as we know, in the final game. Now yes, I would have 100% liked Kronos to be one island instead of separated, but it is what it is, right? Next up here, right, we have an enemy. Now we can see right here Sonic Spin Dash starts a little bit of a bounce effect going on right here. He's got like a little bounce into little parry. The parry doesn't look like it's doing like the grayed out background thing it does in the base game. It's sort of just making its effect. So maybe there was a shorter time period for the parry, which I think there was. I think Kishimoto confirmed that that there was going to be a regular parry, but they changed it because feedback was different and all that stuff, and people weren't getting it right. So whatever. So spin attack mostly stays the same here. Now this part is pretty notable because this is Caterpillar, but this is a very different version of Caterpillar. It's not on the grind rails where you're hitting the enemy balls and stuff. It seems like you're out here on an open field fighting him. He's shooting his lasers from the sky. I'll show you the image right here where basically it's like the beta, it's the concept art version of Caterpillar, and it looks like it's a different variant of Caterpillar because here Caterpillar is like black and red, whereas the one you find in the base game is sort of like goldish. So it's also a different variant of it, and it looks like it's taking place on like what looks like the Rhea area. This does not look like Kronos. This is more the Rhea area of Kronos. Now one that spun a lot of people's head is Supersonic right here, where you can see there's a lot more flare going on with Supersonic, different camera angles for Giganto doing this big jump, this big fog going around, and obviously this is where the Supreme fight normally takes place. So there was definitely a big change going on with Supersonic, as well as Sonic's color palette. You can see Sonic's color palette a little more on the OG Sonic Adventure side, where it's a little more like darker, almost orangey, but like it's still yellow and all that stuff. So it looks fairly different. I'll show you guys some of the comparisons. So shout out to this person right here who made a bit of a thread of the differences right here. So for example, this is the stuff from the footage we just saw versus the full base game. Clearly you can see there's this part right here that there was something over here. I don't know what this could be over here where I'm pointing the mouse, but there was something going on over there, but for the most part it is the same. But yeah, whatever was going on this island side here was cut out. Whether that was going to be Rhea or some expansion to main Kronos is completely different, but you could definitely tell there was some development shift going on there. Next up, someone checked that like the red enemies were on Kronos Island, so maybe there was going to be a thing where you go back to islands and there were stronger versions of the enemies lurking around these parts. Yeah, right here we can see the Caterpillar is on the Rhea Island, and obviously the big conversation going on is Supersonic. So in the base game, Supersonic kind of just transforms, no flare or effect, but in this beta you can see there was a lot more flare and explosions to Supersonic when he transforms. And again, last one right here being the one where Giganto's in a big open field with fog versus where Supreme would take place. This is where Supreme normally is in the base game. And yeah, right here we can see Giganto big chilling out here. So those are the initial things going on, and my thoughts on it are, yeah, look, would I have liked obviously base game to have this level of polish, because it's pretty similar, but I feel like it is pretty notable to mention that yeah, I mean, like there is this crazy fog going on around Giganto when he's fighting you. He does do this crazy kind of jump move that he comes at you with. I do like the camera angle that Sonic goes at when he's doing the body grab. Like you could tell there was definitely more power going into the game. Now granted, this could be one of two things. One, it could be a budget budget thing or a time thing. You know, these are things they want to have in the game, didn't get a chance to finish. Or, right, a big debate people were starting to cause, which was the Switch. People were blaming the Switch and the fact that Sega team actually fully worked on this game. They didn't have a port studio to work on the Switch port, that they had to, you know, debuff the game in a lot of ways for the Switch port. Now, we know that's kind of true for some elements of the game. Like, I know the draw distance is an issue because of the Switch, apparently, and I'm sure there were definitely some things that limited the game because of the Switch, and obviously people are pointing that out. But to be fair, like, I want it to be very clear that I still think Sonic Frontiers is beautiful. Like, I think that game, like, is just a beautiful looking game, from the vistas and the water and the areas we go to. Like, this game by no means is not good looking, but you can definitely tell with whatever was going on in this footage that, like, there was a bit more, you know, polished graphically, you know, more visual effects going on. Sonic even does like a little backflip when he's fighting the caterpillar. So there was definitely a little more stuff going on with the footage. Again, nothing too crazy or game changing, but it's there. Oh, and also something really random but cool. Kishimoto basically confirmed we are getting a spin dash in the next update of the game. So someone in the game, in, like, you know, the Twitter comments replied saying they found code in the game hinting to a spin dash, and Kishimoto straight up replied, "Oh my god, you found it. Actually, we tried to include it in the first update, but we decided it didn't meet everyone's expectations, so we are improving the degree of perfection for the second update. I'm telling you because I found it, and it's okay to have expectations." So Kishimoto crazy, you know, imagine like someone leaks something from a game's code and then director's like, "Yeah, no, that is happening. GG for finding that." So thank you again to Kishimoto for being the go with this stuff. Again, there's really not too much else to say about this beta footage. Like I said before, I would have loved if Kronos was one big island, and maybe, you know, I don't expect any of the updates to restore it because the game kind of is what it is and it doesn't make story sense anymore to separate them. I would have liked more incentives to go back to the island. Like, I really like the idea that the red enemy here is on Kronos, you know, meaning that maybe there was incentive to go back and fight stronger enemies. Maybe that's going to be part of update 2 with the new island challenges. And, you know, Caterpillar here is way better. I prefer this than, you know, the grind rail fight against him, which, because like the POV on that fight is really fucking weird. So having this is definitely a little better. And obviously, you know, the supersonic flare is cooler. Like I said, I think the biggest part of Giganto is clearly Giganto was going to be almost like island level, you know, where look at this big jump he does in the air back into the middle here. This cool big jump, and there's this crazy fog effect, and the rocks are falling. Like, you could tell there was definitely some more ambition with this. And we know in general that the game really wasn't fully done. You know, we could tell by how the Supreme fight ends, and sort of at the end of the game feels a little rushed in there. But obviously, you know, we got to take our victories with what we can with the game, and we're still gonna get updates. Like I said, we're still getting the spin dash. We're still getting a lot of cool elements added to the game, and I think the game is gonna be, like I said, still very different by the time we get to where we need to with the project. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Right, are you disappointed by this? Does this really not bother you? Do you think some of this stuff will be, you know, patched in for the future? Like, give me your thoughts always in the comment below. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what else you want to see on this channel. As always, I love you. You're the best. Peace out, gang.